Let's podcast alongside Joe Giglio. I'm Joe Ovies inside Eford Studios in downtown Raleigh. Thanks to Empire Properties and thanks to Copiers Plus. Check them out online at copiers-plus.com. Print management, document management, get everything you need to the cloud. Do they do feelings management? Can they work with Notre Dame to process their feelings over being left out of the college football playoff? Can they process their feelings? Do they need a positivity rabbit like the Philadelphia Eagles, which didn't exactly work out for them last night on Monday Night Football, to work through being snubbed, having the rug pulled, being naive that the college football playoff committee just is going to do whatever it feels like doing, and the ACC not having their back?
Listen, I let you down yesterday. I let Pete Bavacqua get one over on me, and I don't like that.
What happened?
This is not Notre Dame whinging. This is not Notre Dame crying. This is not Notre Dame complaining. This is Notre Dame maneuvering to get out of their deal with the ACC to improve their position in the future of the college football playoff.
No, I don't think
they're using very specific language that I failed you with yesterday.
No, I don't think
damages.
No.
No.
I don't.
When
think
they start using words like damages, they are setting this up as a play.
Yeah.
To get out of their deal with the ACC. We can get into why, but I think this is a very strategical move by Notre Dame. It's moved past just, oh, darn, we didn't get into the playoff. And, oh, darn, you didn't say nice things about us on social media. This is them telling the ACC, we no longer want to be in business with you.
This has been a simmer, which has now gone to a boil. This is not a new idea. And I wouldn't say anything was failed yesterday. It was referenced yesterday that this was a power move. This is their political act in how they're going about being left out of the college football playoff. Right down to calling out and calling Ross Dellinger of Yahoo Sports and then going on the Dan Patrick show shortly after that.
They were on with Portnoy too, Barstool.
If I'm pretty sure, if I know my sequence correctly, Bavacqua, the AD, called Ross Dellinger of Yahoo Sports in the middle of them recording the Yahoo Sports college football podcast that features Andy Staples and Stephen Gottfried and Ross Dellinger. And he had to dip while they were recording because I think that's how it worked out. And that's how Ross put that story up. And Bavacqua was very quick to say, hey, by the way, understand we got this memorandum of understanding going forward, right? And then, yes, he did the same thing. He went on the Dan Patrick show. So I don't know. I just think with all the things that happened over the weekend, we didn't have an opportunity to truly dive into what this could mean going forward because we had a lot to get into yesterday.
We did.
And I even said yesterday, hey, we'll probably spend more time on this tomorrow, i.e. today, Tuesday, December 9th. And it's 11 o'clock right now as we've started to record this podcast. There's a scheduled press conference at noon, which what are you going to do at this press conference? If they're going to announce, hey, by the way, we are starting the process to get the hell out of the ACC arrangement, well, now we got news. If it's just more saber rattling, political maneuvering to let people know, hey, man, we're a brand that matters, and we're going to try to remind the college football playoff going forward that if you want this thing to be successful, we have to be a part of it one way or the other, even in our little special bubble of being an independent. Okay, well, then, I mean, you're not really doing anything new. So that's kind of like the table setting. Let's work backwards, and then we'll get to where we see these things going, because I think the sequence of events here is important. And we mentioned Bavacqua, the AD, and his appearance on the Dan Patrick show. Here is what he said, because I only had the written form of what he had said. So here's what he said to Dan Patrick yesterday about the relationship with the ACC.
What role did the ACC play in any of this, in your opinion?
Well, I would tell you, I mean, again, I have tremendous respect for Miami. You know, great team, great school. Their athletic director, Dan Radakovich, is a good friend. And all the teams in the ACC, great, wonderful universities. We have no gripes about any of the schools in the ACC. But we were mystified by the actions of the conference to attack, their biggest really business partner in football and a member of their conference in 24 of our other sports. And I would tell you, Dan, I wouldn't be honest with you if I didn't say that they have certainly done permanent damage to the relationship between the conference and Notre Dame.
What do you mean?
Just we didn't appreciate the fact that we were singled out repeatedly and compared to Miami. Not by Miami. Miami has every right to do that. But it raised a lot of eyebrows here that the conference was taking shots at us. And, that's just not something we chose to do. We wouldn't choose to do that in the future, and people might disagree with us, but that's just not something that we'd be comfortable with. And again, we have no problem with any of these teams. These are all great teams. You look at those teams, Miami, like I said, great season. They beat us. You think about Alabama, nobody's had more success in college football over the last decade than Alabama. But Dan, you follow this sport so closely. Everybody was saying that we were one of a handful of teams that could win this whole thing. Yeah. And now we have 0% chance. Even Nick Saban, nobody knows more about college football, maybe in the history of the world, than Nick Saban. And he said it yesterday, like, how is Notre Dame not in this? I mean, everybody is just kind of confused and perplexed, and we don't have good answers for the kids on our team, for our student athletes.
Okay. Before we move forward, I'm just going to go ahead and call BS on this. Like, we're all shocked and in awe of what happened. No, come on. You all been doing this long enough to know that the College Football Playoff Committee is going to do what it feels like doing. And the idea that you bought that we're head and shoulders above Miami in all these other rankings, and then you're trying to figure out why suddenly Miami jumped ahead of you. The College Football Playoff Committee, and we went over this yesterday, but I will remind everybody, the College Football Playoff Committee, if you paid attention to them the way that all these people claim they pay attention to these TV shows, set it up for this very scenario. Once these two teams get put on the same level, when we have to compare them directly, how do you think that was going to play out? And things shook out that they got to a point where they got compared directly. As far as your actions, so I'm sorry, I did not realize that pointing out head-to-head matters is somehow disrespectful to Notre Dame. Is it because the conference was doing what a conference is supposed to do for their member institutions, its full-time members? The SEC does this. It just means more. The Big Ten does this by putting people like Dave Portnoy on their broadcast to stump for the Big Ten, right? Just like you got Paul Feinbaum that goes on ESPN that stumps for the SEC. So the ACC did what a conference does, and somehow that is insulting, disparagement. I was texting with a national writer yesterday, and he said to me, well, they're looking for material breach of contract. This is where we're getting to your thing. We're looking for material breach. I'm like, material breach of what? So I started digging around. I'm like, oh, are they going for disparagement? Is that what they're really going for? A disparagement clause in this contract? It's disparaging to point out as a conference that, hey, our full-time member Miami has the head-to-head over you, a part-time member of the ACC. That's disparagement in their eyes. Okay, cool. That is the softest thing you can go to. But to your point, it really is about setting the table to get out of this arrangement with the ACC, which runs through 2037. So that was Bavacqua yesterday. Jim Phillips, the ACC commissioner, he put out a statement yesterday. The University of Notre Dame is an incredibly valued member of the ACC, and there's a tremendous respect and appreciation for the entire institution. With that said, when it comes to football, we have a responsibility to support and advocate for all 17 of our football-playing member institutions. And I stand behind our conference efforts to do just that leading up to the College Football Playoff Committee selections on Sunday. At no time was it suggested by the ACC that Notre Dame was not a worthy candidate for inclusion in the field. We are thrilled for the University of Miami while also understanding and appreciating the significant disappointment of Notre Dame players, coaches, and the program. This all boils down to this is what this is about. Notre Dame is in their feelings because a social media manager made a graphic that said head-to-head matters. They are in their feelings because a network that nobody watches during the day decided to run replays of the Miami win over Notre Dame early in the season. This is why you're throwing a tantrum, and this is your hook to try to get out of your deal with the ACC through 2037. That's what I'm to interpret here. Wow, that's salute, man. I never thought that we would see this level of whininess of just, hey, man, look, last point, since I brought up the ACC network. This is the same conference that did I put it away? I put it away. Remember, here it is. Let me put this over on the Chrome real quick so I can put it up. This is the same conference that after they helped you out in 2020 by allowing you to be a full-time member and play a full ACC schedule, because this is what we're not going to do. This is not what we're going to do. We're not going to act as though Notre Dame did the ACC a favor in 2020. Because there's this new talking point from Notre Dame fans that I'm seeing that we saved you in 2020. Whoa. This is like one of those bumper stickers that I see on a car that says, who saved who? And it's a dog. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what this is. This is not the dog saving the human. This is the human going to the shelter and saving the dog, okay? Because, remember, after that 2020 season, and I pulled it up on YouTube here, Notre Dame football, a year in the ACC, they did a fucking documentary about their 1 year in the ACC, lauding Notre Dame. Like, they've done everything possible to make you feel good. It just so happens that in this one instance, after years of coddling you, they did what was in their best interest instead of yours, and now you're losing your minds over this? It's comical. It is comical the way this is unfolding.
It is, but I think we need to focus on the bigger picture.
That's
here.
fine.
Okay,
That's fine.
let's give a couple of table setting items first.
Mhm.
Notre Dame, when they joined the ACC in whatever form you want to call it, 5/8 in football, full member, everything else, signed the grant of rights back in 2013. Okay, they signed it again when the ACC network was formed.
Holden Thorpe, by the way, who was the chancellor at UNC at the time, he's actually posted on social media, like, I had conversations with Notre Dame people. Are you sure you don't want to join this conference? During these instances, they're like, no, this is good. This is what we want.
So while it's not a full number that they would owe the ACC, they would still owe the ACC to get out of their grant of rights. So, it wouldn't be the full amount that Clemson and Florida State established in the court, but it would still be a significant enough amount of money. I would say, if I knew the actual number, I bet you it's pretty close to whatever the most recent round of expansion added to the pockets of the ACC schools. By adding Stanford, Cal, and SMU, they increased their payout. That was also at the behest of Notre Dame, by the way. Okay. So a couple table setting items. They are a member. They have signed the grant of rights. They have to pay to get out of the grant of rights. Okay. But here's where we really missed on Pete Bavacqua. And I let you down. I let you down as a forward thinker and as a problem solver. I let the audience down. In 2023, when they announced that Pete Bavacqua was going to replace Jack Swarbrick, we have 3 former Notre Dame administrators in the triangle who are ADs right here at Duke, Carolina, and NC State. All of them, each of them, at their various stages of their career, would walk to Notre Dame, would walk to South Bend to be the athletic director at Notre Dame. Each and every one of them.
You're talking about Bubba Cunningham at UNC, Boo Corrigan at NC State,
yes,
Nina King at Duke.
All successful in their own ways and all in different points of their career, right down to Boo Corrigan's father, Gene, was the former athletic director at Notre Dame, and Jim Phillips, the current AD,
I got a question for you.
Worked for his father.
I got a question for you.
Or overlapped.
Would Jim Phillips give up the commissioner of the ACC to be the AD at Notre Dame?
He would actually. I bet you he would have to think about it. I bet you he would.
We're just illustrating the point about what that job is for a lot of people.
That pull, that school is different. Yes, I know what I said about them yesterday, but to the people who went there, it's totally and completely different.
Different conversation. That's
in
a different conversation.
2023, in 2024, you had 3 viable, perfectly acceptable options at different stages of their career. Did they call any of them? No. I don't know. I don't know if they called them or not.
I don't think they did.
They went and hired Pete Bavacqua. Pete Bavacqua, you might say. Who's Pete Bavacqua? And you might say on a superficial level, all I'm doing is looking at his Wikipedia page right now. And I fucking failed the audience. Previously served as the CEO of Professional Golf Association of America. Okay?
Yeah.
Before that, chairman of NBC Sports. NBC Sports. Notre Dame has a contract with NBC. The Big Ten newly has a contract with NBC.
Yeah.
What do you think NBC would like more? A game between Northwestern and Notre Dame, or a game between Syracuse and Notre Dame? What do you think NBC or Peacock would like more? A game between NC State and Notre Dame, which was on Peacock this year, or a game between Indiana and Notre Dame?
Yeah.
What do you think they would want more? What do you think Notre Dame would like more? Because this also gets into, we are all prisoners of the moment, and Pete Bavacqua is a prisoner of the moment. He's looking at his scheduling agreement with the ACC, by the way, which they also made a deal when he got there.
Yeah.
They made an extra deal to add games with Clemson,
Mm-hmm.
the best team, what has been the best team in the ACC.
Mm-hmm.
Did they add games with Boston College,
No.
one of their traditional rivals?
No.
No. They specifically added games with Clemson. All right. So these are all signs we should have seen coming. He's looking prisoner of the moment. He's looking at his schedule and he's going, we played Syracuse, we played Stanford, we played NC State, we played Pittsburgh. None of these games helped us. If we just had one more game that was of import on our schedule, we could point to it and say, hey, look, we beat Illinois.
Okay.
Look, we beat.
What does that get you? They beat Purdue, a Big Ten team. This is where I'm going to push back on you. I see the vision.
I'm
real quick.
He's looking at the ACC and saying, I'm not getting enough quality games.
No.
I want out of this scheduling agreement.
Here's the problem. I see your vision. If you're NBC and this is something that we haven't discussed a lot. We have talked about it a little bit on OG Business with me and Dimitri. I know you've pointed this out that NBC isn't exactly happy with their arrangement with the Big Ten.
No.
Because they get the crap games.
No. And neither is CBS, by the way, because they get even worse games.
Fox gets all the marquee games. They got the big noon kickoff.
Yes.
NBC is getting a slate of games that they're not too keen on.
And those are the primetime games.
It would make it a marriage of convenience that Notre Dame's broadcast partner and NBC, who now has a deal with the Big Ten, could combine the two and build a package around that and increase the value. Because to your point, if you're looking at it from a brand perspective, yes, Notre Dame playing Big Ten teams probably means more from a brand perspective, TV ratings wise, than anything else. But
I don't think there's a probably about that.
Yeah, I'm not going to dispute that. What I will push back on is whether or not those games actually help Notre Dame in the long run. Because here's the thing that really is the issue. This is where I failed yesterday. If we're talking about how we failed in yesterday's show, you said, who put the schedule together? People put the schedule. Okay. Whatever arrangement, let's follow us down the path. So they leave the ACC, they do what they need to do with the ACC, and they partner and they get the same deal with the Big Ten.
But a little bit more financial push because it's the Big Ten.
Sure. Whatever. Yeah. Money's not the issue here. It's about having a resume that is good enough to overcome some shit like what did not happen, okay?
Yeah.
I fail to see what changes for Notre Dame. You're swapping out middle to bottom tier ACC teams for middle to bottom tier Big Ten teams. Yeah, you get to mix in Ohio State every so often. You get to mix in Michigan every so often. But do you know when those games are going to be played? Those games are going to be played early because they're not conference games. And that's where I failed yesterday. The reason why Notre Dame finds itself in this position and they can't schedule these big games late, which it would help them out because they're playing better. It's the last thing we saw. A win over Miami at the end would be better than a win over Miami. You see what I'm getting at?
Mm-hmm.
They can't do it anymore because the entire structure of college football is wholly different than when these deals were being made for the college football playoff and when they agreed to these scheduling arrangements with the ACC. So they're having a hard time scheduling these games against marquee matchups later in the year. It has to happen early. And on top of, because I was looking at their schedule, they still get to play Alabama. They're playing Texas. Right? They're playing some marquee games down the line. But you know when they're happening? They're happening in September, which does not help Notre Dame in any way, form, or fashion.
In their schedule arrangement with the ACC, the Miami game just happened to be the opener this year because ESPN wanted it to be the opener. They played Florida State, which is one of the anchor teams that they play in the ACC. In November last year. In 23, they played Clemson in November.
I mean, if you want to get to where the ACC...
In 22, they played Clemson in November.
Hey.
So they can move that Big Ten marquee game to November very easily. But they already do that with the ACC.
You're already nailing the real issue here. And this is where I will agree the ACC has done Notre Dame no favors but this is an issue for the ACC. It's something we talked about with David Hale, 2 weeks ago or last week, related to the current state of the ACC and the freak out over the college football playoff. Florida State, Notre Dame is supposed to be a marquee matchup. Yeah. Well, hey, Florida State, you got to hold up your end of the bargain. I see Virginia Tech on the schedule. Hey, man, that'd be a good game, good TV. But James Franklin needs to elevate Virginia Tech to that point. Hey, Clemson, do you think Notre Dame probably regrets that scheduling arrangement with Clemson, given how Dabo's been right now at Clemson? So this is where I will put the onus on the ACC, and this arrangement is that, hey, man, you got to hold up your end of the bargain. Now, does the Big Ten give you an opportunity to have more marquee games? Because Ohio State's not dropping off anytime soon. Michigan should not be dropping off anytime soon. But I will push back on this idea that in terms of helping your resume, playing Purdue and Illinois over Boston College and Syracuse is the same thing to me. It's the same thing to me. There is no difference between the two. So the Notre Dame finds itself in, and why I kind of push back on this. Well, let me dial it back a bit.
Yeah, but think about it this way: you have a better choice of anchor teams.
I agree.
If you look at the Ace, I failed and all. I should have done this a long time ago. But if you look, they never play Florida State, Miami, or Clemson in the same season.
Mm-hmm.
They never do.
Mm-hmm.
So what they're doing with their 5-game arrangement is they're saying, here, give us one of Florida State, Miami, Clemson each year. And in 19 and 21, they didn't play any of those teams.
Because they don't want to overload themselves.
Correct.
The same thing would happen to the Big Ten. Give us Ohio State one year.
But what I'm getting at is they're taking one team from Group A, whatever it is, 2 teams from Group B, and 2 teams from Group C.
Yeah.
So you're always going to play the last place team. You're always going to play 2 from the middle, and you're just playing 1 from the top.
Yeah.
I think if you did a Big Ten arrangement, you don't have years like 2018. You played Florida State. 2024, you played Florida State, and it was there. They didn't help you.
But again,
you
Florida
played
State
Miami.
Good.
You played Miami in 16. Didn't make it. Didn't help you in anything. I think by saying every year it's going to be Michigan, Oregon, Ohio State, you're essentially guaranteeing every single year you're getting one hammer game.
But here's the issue then. This is the other thing that you be careful what you wish for. Oh, you now have to go up against like actual good football programs that have a lot of money. You think you're going to get another 10-2 record in this schedule? Because like I saw this kicked around. Oh, the SEC would happily take him in the arrangement. I'm thinking,
no.
Why wouldn't? Well, let's say the SEC would do that. Yeah, the SEC would absolutely welcome Notre Dame to the mix because they're like, oh, you think you're going to go 10-2 with us? Nah, bro, don't work that way. So Notre Dame would never do that. Notre Dame
doesn't want to join a conference. They want what they have right now.
Yeah.
But they want to upgrade their girlfriend right now. That's what they're trying to do.
Well, in this particular case, it's more like a side piece. But regardless, the point here is.
Well, why did they hire Pete Bavacqua, the guy from NBC?
Well,
why didn't they hire one of their lifers?
Because TV relationships. It's why all these guys are being hired the way they're being hired.
I know this.
All these guys are. I mean, why did the Big Ten hire who they hired to be their next commissioner, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, I like Jim Phillips and all, but that was the biggest mistake made by the ACC. They put an NCAA lifer in there rather than somebody who saw where things were going, like our guy from The American, okay, Tony Petitti. So Tim Pernetti. I'm getting all my Italians. My Italian. Yeah, all Italians look alike, right? All from New Jersey. So, look, here's the thing, though. The arrangement isn't going to last, though. Okay, because
that's the other thing. Where are we headed here?
That's the other thing. Like, so Bavacqua can go around, touting their, hey, here's my memorandum of understanding. These deals were made when college football looked completely different just 3 years ago. Okay, 3 or 5 years ago, this all made sense. We're not there anymore, and we're also within a 5-year window of all of what we know now being completely different. Because we're headed towards the Super. Now, if Notre Dame really wanted to be gangster, they'll never do it. But if they really wanted to be gangster because they never want to wear it, they would be the ones spearheading the super conferences. They would be the one. You want to maintain your independence. You don't want to join a conference full time. Cool, I respect it. You got your principles. The only way to maintain it is to be the one who rips the Band-Aid off of where things are going. You can stay independent within the context of a super league because we understand that these super conferences will be playing football against themselves. Uniformity. You don't go super conference unless you're going uniformity. So like Texas, like it's this thing we've been talking about for the last 2 years. At some point, everybody's going to wake up and these schools are going to go, hey, Ohio State and Michigan, hey, we're all on the same page here. But you know who else we are like-minded with? Alabama, Georgia. Texas, Oklahoma say, hey, man, we've been boys forever. So don't you think we have more in common with Ohio State, Michigan, Alabama, Georgia? See what I'm getting at here?
Well, you have 2 disgruntled Big Ten teams in Michigan and USC.
Because of all the...
who don't want the private equity.
They don't want the private equity.
You've got 2 known disgruntled ACC teams.
In Florida State and Clemson.
So you could easily talk Duke and Carolina into doing whatever you wanted to do as well because, well, look who's there.
Right. So why does not Notre Dame, if they really want to be the movers and shakers and keep their independence, just say, fine, F all this crap. let's go Super League because that's where it's all headed. Because I have like Notre Dame fans in my mentions in the comment section saying, well, when we leave the ACC, we'll see what happens. I'm like, guys, you're going to join something. You're going to join something. And it's going to be a Super League. So just do it already. And then you can get back to the business like you like to talk about, what these conferences are truly for. More regional, play basketball against your regional compatriots, go play your soccer and volleyball and all that kind of stuff, and let football be its own entity. And we don't have to worry about all this crap because right now, the biggest issue, I think we can all agree, the biggest issue is there's no way to properly assess a field with the way it's currently constructed.
These teams don't play each other.
We can't even properly get a read on conferences. Who's good in the ACC with its weird ass tiebreakers that, as you mentioned yesterday, other conferences also have weird ass tiebreakers. That's how Alabama ends up in a title game against Georgia. So let's just call it for what it is. All this stuff is going away in the next 5 years. So I feel like we're arguing about stuff that's very, very temporary. So Notre Dame, you want to leave the ACC? Cool, man. I know where this is all headed. The ACC will still be around, not going anywhere. They were here before you. They will be here in some form or fashion after you. And honestly, the conferences as we know them, they're also going to be massively changed. So when everybody starts to try to I see these on YouTube every time I log in to upload stuff or, put a short up or put the podcast up. It's like death of the ACC. I'm like, guys, it's the death of conferences. That's where we're headed here, or at least in football terms, death of conferences. So I get what you're saying. I see the vision with the Big Ten. It's a temporary solution for where it's all going. And I don't quite know if it really solves Notre Dame's biggest problem. You want to be this independent thing while everybody else is going in a different direction. And you keep asking the stakeholders in the college football playoff to continue to meet your needs. They've met your needs the best they can. And you still found a way to not make it. It happened, man. It finally happened. It was going to happen eventually. And now you want to rip it all up? Doing this and bitching about the ACC ain't the way to rip it up. It's doing your own thing and starting that super conference. Be the leader. Be what you want to be in the world. Be the light, Joe. I mean, do I have to tap in my Catholicism here?
I will say to you, I think
these guys are expecting miracles.
Yeah, but you want them to do something. They want to remain special, and they just saw what happened in terms of the renegotiation language in the ACC's contract with ESPN. You're telling me all of the Fox, NBC, and CBS deals with the Big Ten don't include language that say if you were to add Notre Dame, even on this scheduling agreement basis.
Yeah.
So you might even be able to make Michigan and USC happy by saying, nope, we're not going to get private equity money. We're going to get a bunch more money just by adding this scheduling agreement with Notre Dame. So
maybe there does come a point where you wonder just how much money are we talking about?
Pete Bavacqua is Don Draper. He's not going to be the light. He's not going to go try to do something different.
He's going to start a new agency.
He's going to remix what he's already done and say, hey, look at this great idea. I just went and started a new agency. Yeah, but it's the same thing, Don. Yeah, but it's a different name. It's not a new idea. It's just a fucking remix.
We got the Jaguar deal.
Housekeeping.
Of course, we saw how that worked out for them. Big thanks to Inovana for sponsoring Housekeeping. Check them out online at inovana.com.
If you have mess inside your mansion or trash in your cabana, get it clean with Inovana.
It's a busy time of the year. You get snow outside. Kids going to be out there trying to sled, like truly southern sledding today, right? Like a dusting of snow on some wet grass. Sled on that thing, man. Do the thing. But they're going to track all that stuff in. Get a deep clean with our friends at Inovana. Check them out online at inovana.com. Big thanks to the Streezy. Speaking of the snow, he's out here with a nice cold OG Light in the snow.
Love that.
Out in the mountains. I love that. That's good to see. You can get OG Light at our friends at P Street Market. I know our friends at Longleaf carry it as well. The Rialto, if you're off to go see some Christmas movies. In fact, Kelly went to a show this past Friday. OG Light on draft. They fixed that tap handle. So it's cooking. We're good to go. So go check that out. Also, big thanks to everybody who voted for us on the Raleigh Today Best of 2025. Joe, what is it like to be number one, first place local influencer / celebrity, Joe?
I don't know where this is, but awesome.
North Carolina sports fans have probably already downloaded the latest episode of this beloved podcast, Joe. Beloved.
Love it.
I'd love to see that. Thanks to everybody who voted. I know there's a couple of other ones that I'm out here. I'm looking for the three-peat on a certain one. We'll see if that happens.
No wonder why we can't see Pete Bavacqua's moves coming. We're too busy.
Too busy going for our own three-peat. Oh, and also big thanks to Mike. He put that design that y'all want for the holidays on the secret stash.
He did.
So go to the OG.shop. Again, that's the OG.shop to go check out the secret stash. Well, is there anything else that I'm missing in terms of housekeeping here? No.
Housekeeping.
No, I'm not. I won't be here Thursday.
No, you won't.
I'll be off to Nashville.
Yeah.
You can do the show here or somewhere else.
It's a great question.
Still lining that up?
Yeah. Still working on that.
Okay.
We got James Giglio potential. We got Hayes Permar, maybe both.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
You can do it at Longleaf.
Could go to the Swine. Could go to the Rialto.
Could do that. Just do it there in the lobby.
I was going to say that would just lead to me just freebasing the tap there. It would just be like hooked up. And
just if you do the
helmet.
show, if you do the show from the Rialto lobby, make sure you activate the water feature from the ceiling.
Yeah, I forgot I've been banned. My bad. I earned that.
Hey, maybe you need to do a bathroom remodel like the Rialto.
Hey,
refinance.
piece of cake.
Just
We got
go
a
to-
guy for you.
Just go to MillerLending.com or call Gordon Miller and the crew at 919-447-3377. Maybe you need a bathroom remodel or an addition to the house and you're worried about rates and things like that, but you can stay flexible with Miller Lending. The rates will go up and down. Your needs do not change though. So get the money that you need for something like a home remodel and also stay flexible by not paying closing costs, paying the current rate that's there. And if it comes down in the future, you just refinance again and it's of no cost to you and you save money every single time. And if you take that thing to close, you will get a row back right off of Joe Giglio's back, a game worn. Head on over to rowback.com, check them out. Use that promo code OG20 if you missed out on their big site-wide sale. No big deal. You still have the promo code to save 20%. Again, that's OG20. I picked up some new base shirts, like their t-shirts that I can wear under the shack and stuff like that. I'm fully converted now. Like those things are incredibly comfortable. I'm all in on the rowbacks. Let's go.
My biggest victory in life.
So, yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to find the things that make it work for you. And Rowback has added a lot of things in 2025. And I'm really looking forward to what they bring in 2026 that go, I can make that work for me. So head on over. Apparently, while I got the Ready hoodie, apparently the sweatpants are off the charts.
Even better.
Apparently they're off the charts. And it is sweatpants season. Eyes up here. Eyes up here. Okay. So I might just have to use that promo code again with a new email, just saying. Anyway, go to rowback.com, use that promo code OG20. And of course, our friends at NC Grill Rescue. We just got done with Thanksgiving. You got people coming over for Christmas, New Year's, you're hosting, all that kind of stuff. If you're using your outdoor kitchen, if you're doing these big, elaborate meals and you're smoking a Boston butt, you're doing the turkey and all this stuff, you're going to want to get it cleaned. If it's been getting worked this holiday season, when it's all said and done, get that deep clean so it's ready for the spring. Let's say you just wrapped up tailgate season, right? Hey, you want to make sure that what you invested into that drum makes it to another football season. Get it deep clean. So contact our friends at NC Grill Rescue.
No need to bury your barbecue. Call NC Grill Rescue. And now it's time for your NC Grill Rescue of the week.
What do you got, Joe?
I'm going to rescue Phillip Rivers' high school team and his family. What are they going to do without him?
We'll talk about that.
I mean,
44?
why not?
Who's going to rescue him from himself? He hasn't played since 2020.
Well, don't forget, you could do it for like 1 week, 2 weeks.
All right.
All
right.
Look,
man.
parachute him in for like that one home game. And
Look, man. Phillip Rivers.
max protect.
Look,
One guy in a route.
He doesn't know anything about max protection. Okay. Phillip Rivers says, max protection? Psh, get that out of here. Joining us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline is play-by-play voice of the Carolina Hurricanes. He is Mike Maniscalco. He is brought to you by Brassfield Accounting. It's almost the end of the year, folks. You're going to be getting a bunch of documents in January. Do you know what to do with them if you're a small business like me and Joe? Giglio certainly doesn't. That's why Brassfield Accounting is here. So hit him up, brassfieldaccounting.com. Again, that's brassfieldaccounting.com.
Big thanks to our friends in Homer, Alaska. They also now have a location at RTP. So don't worry about it. They've got you covered. That's how the internet works either way. All right, we're going to treat this appearance, Mike, like we are back on the radio. We're going to radio this thing up. Are you ready?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, let's go.
I need you to get you in the right frame of mind. The Hurricanes are on a 7-game homestand right now. They are 500 in this homestand right now. If they lose tonight against Columbus, that's it. They are not going to win the Stanley Cup because they had a 7-game homestand in November and December and did not go. They couldn't win the 7-game series. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I got you.
This is their first 7-game series of the year.
You know what you're doing.
And they got to win. This is a must-win game against Columbus tonight.
It's a playoff-like situation. Where's Alec Campbell?
Absolutely.
Playoff-like. Where's Gold steaming out of his ears? There's no such thing as playoff-like in the regular season. But Giglio, you might have hit on something here.
Got to have it tonight, Mike.
No, there is
Series. What else is there to it?
there is playoff like in the regular season when like you need to win 2 games to get in. That's playoff like. You know,
Well, yeah.
Mike going
Mike's
home.
scoring there,
Just,
like 14 or 15 or 16.
I mean, we have.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Trust me, I can't tell you how many post games where I'm like, well, Craig Anderson tonight. Didn't see that coming. All right, I'm gonna invest and put a toe in the water on this one.
Ooh.
Giglio. You're not 100% wrong, but it's got nothing to do with what we've seen in the previous 6 games. It's the next 4 games for the Carolina Hurricanes, all in the division. Columbus, Washington, home and home with Philadelphia. And if you take a look at the standings this year, in particular the Metro Division, going into last night, it was 5 points, 6 points from first to last. You cannot go on a losing streak in this division right now, because I'm not going to say it's going to cost you the Stanley Cup. That's a little extreme. But what I will tell you is it will cost you positioning when you want to get to the Stanley Cup. And not everybody in the Eastern Conference is Florida last year, where they didn't care where they played. They didn't need the home ice advantage. They knew they just needed to get in. So in this situation, these next 4 games, you can't let that loss to the Sharks, who, by the way, the Sharks have a fabulous young player in Macklin Celebrini, who, if he was playing in Toronto, they would have already inducted him into the Hall of Fame for what he's done in his first 100 games in his career, because he is that good. And I keep putting my neck out on the line on this one. I'm not saying he will be Sidney Crosby, but he is this generation's Sidney Crosby. Like, he'll be that guy. The way he plays. So I can kind of forgive the loss to San Jose to that end. But no, this team has got to get back to their game and play it the way that they need to these next 4 games, Joe. And that's not hyperbole, because now we are starting to get closer in that. I don't buy the American Thanksgiving, but I do buy Christmas. If you are kind of stumbling your way through Christmas, it's going to be really hard to get traction, because the games are going to be every other day. You've got the Olympic break on the way smaller ice over there in Italy. What are we doing, Italians? Come on. Our people here, Joe. We built the Coliseum. We have a tower that leans. We can't get the correct ice size.
Are they playing Olympic hockey over at Polar Ice House, Kerry?
No,
roller skating rink. Is that what I'm hearing?
I did see a really great AI generated. Just put the NHL is great at putting rinks outdoors. Just move it to Rome and put it in the Coliseum, which would be great.
I'd be down for that.
But anyway, these next 4 games, Joe, I think are for being in December and like mid-December, are really important for the Carolina Hurricanes. So yeah, to answer your question, closing out the homestand against a Blue Jacket team where you can go 4-3 at home, but it's more to spur you in these next 4 games that you're going to play.
No, you got to spend some time with Peter Laviolette on Sunday, and he is, to me, and I know it's John Wooden's axiom, but it's process versus results. To me, that was the first coach I ever covered that explain process versus results. And that effort on Sunday is the kind that drives Rod Brindamore crazy, because we saw some of it on Thursday against Toronto, right?
Yep.
Come home and then they beat Nashville, and you're like, oh, hey, there's the Canes. Like, that's the way they're supposed to play. Control the puck, play fast, play aggressive, forecheck, all the things we expect out of them. And then all of a sudden, to your point, Macklin Celebrini did look like shit, man. He looked like Crosby's not even a high enough comp right now. Like he looked like Gretzky. I mean, he was flying. He was setting everybody up. He was the chess master out there he's only 19.
Yeah.
Like, crazy. But you can't allow him all of that space.
No.
And the Hurricanes are getting closer to being full strength. I get it. Number one guy still not playing.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to diminish that, but that effort on Sunday had to quite frankly, had to embarrass Rod Brindamore with all of his teammates from 06 in the building.
No, I mean, he said it post game, like how bad those two periods were. And by the way, I'm not giving the Canes the pass for the game on Sunday at all. I'm just saying that Sharks team, if you thought that you could throw a B or C effort against them, that's what's going to happen. You're going to get beat like that in this league now. There's only a handful of teams that you should expect to win when you play against. And I can't even say a handful, maybe like two fingers I can count.
Hey, man, I got in the building and I saw, okay, they have to have a former Cane. They have Skinner. And then I was like, oh, look who their number one defenseman is, Orlov. And then it took me until the middle of the first period to be like, oh, wait a second, I know that goalie, Nedeljkovic, who is either going to be he's either going to be Patrick Roy against the Hurricanes, or he's going to give up 9 million goals against them. Like, there's really no in between when they see Nedeljkovic. There really isn't. No.
So when he plays the Canes in Raleigh, he is Patrick Roy. He is phenomenal against them for sure.
Now, we're talking about that mindset. Clearly, Brindamore is in that mindset because the alumni game was last night. Looked like it was a fun time. I know you and Wade Minter were crushing it there. You guys were in the penalty box?
Yep.
Right? Okay.
Yep.
You guys were in the penalty box doing the thing, and they passed the cup around. I did not see this in real time. They passed the Stanley Cup around, but there was one former Cane that did not touch it.
Correct.
Who was that?
That'd be the captain of that team, who's now the head coach, Rod Brindamore.
Oh, you see?
Hey, he's playing for it this year. When I say, his team is playing for it this year.
Feel like we're right back in 2006. They win the Eastern Conference, and they ain't touching that thing. Ron Francis did in 02, and Rob was nowhere near that thing. I ain't touching that trophy. So we're right back in it. I like that mindset.
I do. Honestly, there's certain things that I don't buy into, although Giglio is right with the President's Trophy, and somehow the team who wins it flames out. Yeah. I don't think there's a curse to it.
Sorry, Avalanche. Go ahead, win fucking 78 games.
Was that
help yourself?
Yeah, what's that get you?
I still love the fact that they can lose 17, 18 games and still be 500 right now in a row. But yeah, I don't have a problem with this is the thing we're chasing, don't touch it. I don't have a problem with that one. You're not playing for the Prince of Wales or the Campbell Trophy. So that to me is, who cares if you touch that? That's not gonna have A or B on it. But you're playing for the cup. I get it. I respect it. I really do.
I respect that.
Really do.
Shows you how Rod still has that mentality, man. Still has, like, he's
never going to go away. You should have seen him. He didn't lose a face-off last night in the alumni game.
Come on, you really think he was going to let that happen with a bunch of kids out there?
There was one move. I'm like, that would have really hurt the ego of a ton of NHL players. The one move he put on the circle for this one kid. Yeah. I'm like, I hope that kid took notes, because he just got a master class on how to win a draw. It was amazing.
We'll talk about it after we chat with you, but like, you see Phillip Rivers working out for the Colts at 44. I mean, he's a grandfather, literally a grandfather, because he's got like 18 kids, but that's here or there. But he's going to go out there and take some snaps. And I'm just recalling the conversation we had with Rod a couple of weeks ago when they were down to 4 defensemen in a game. And I was just thinking to myself, who is, like, I just joke, could you just get somebody from the stands who might have some skates, some beer league guy? He's like, no, it'd be Gleason first. I was like, okay, how long would Gleason go? He's like, we could do short shifts. Like, you still have that, even though they haven't played in forever, they still have it in their head. Like,
there were a bunch of the alumni who played still showed why they could, for a shift. Like Ray Whitney's hands are still there.
Of
It
course.
was amazing.
Of course.
But Tim Gleason and Brett Hedican still can skate. I mean, he'll tell you no, but he turned on the Jets a few times last night, and again playing against college kids, and the kids are like, "Where did this come from? I'm not equipped to handle that."
I guess the real question is, and I'm sure you'll see them today. How are they feeling this morning? That's
the bigger question. Yeah, that's where you can get through a game. I don't know how many games you could get through. So
I mean,
that is the bigger question.
Giglio sits in the wrong chair for an ACC tip-off or ACC kickoff, and he's incapacitated for a week.
It's true.
Hey, man, I sleep on my shoulder wrong. I'm not sure how I'm going to get through the game tonight.
My left knee, if I'm sitting in this chair wrong for an extended period of time while I'm editing something, I will get up and my knee's like, oh, fuck you. Like, okay, so that's kind of where we're at. It's great being old. It's great being old.
You guys had Glenn Wesley on Sunday, one of my favorite all time.
He has not aged, dude.
My God, I saw him in the hallway waiting to go in to talk to you and Trip, and I was like, Wes, what time machine are you in right now? Like, what is happening? It was great to see him. Great.
Guys just took these. Look, these guys. It's the last of that generation that was starting to get into. Hey, you take care of yourself a little bit better, but they stay around it, and I think it keeps them young. That's the other part of it. Staying around the game. Look at us. We're becoming old farts, but I mean, we're all encroaching on or have gone past 50. And I look at our parents or grandparents at 50, and they look like old timey 1800s photos, and so it's just genetics now, guys. That's all.
It's a
different podcast.
We talked to Eric Stoll last week, and I jokingly opened the conversation with, weren't we just doing the 10-year anniversary of the Stanley Cup, right? This stuff seems to be flying by, and I look at those images from 2006, and in my brain they don't seem like they're that long ago, but then you look at the photos and you realize, oh man, that was really a long time ago. The building is completely different, the technology is different. I mean, we walk past it all the time on the 5th floor. They've got this mural, this photographic mural of Rod holding up the cup in front of a fan fest out in the parking lot that I remember being there for and taking pictures and things like that. And it's funny to see not a single phone. It's all these silver digital cameras and even some like actual real film cameras and all that kind of stuff. So it does really highlight just how long ago that was. And do you think in your interactions with newer fans, is there an appreciation for this stuff? Is it like so long ago that it's just like, I hear stories, like, is there an understanding that what the Canes are doing now is wholly different from what you and I have experienced, what Joe experienced being around the thing? Because you got here after 06, but you saw 09, and you saw that thing happen again, where it was like they just got in, and hey, let's go on this run, and everybody's having visions of 06 and 02. But this is a wholly different culture shift that we've been getting, and there's a lot of new fans that have come to the organization, which is going to happen when you win at the rate that they're winning. And I don't know if newer fans understand why there's just like this magic to that 06 because of the way the Canes were at that time.
I think it's two different questions there, Joe. I do think that there's an appreciation, because anytime the team you cheer for has won a title, doesn't matter if you're born into it, you watched it live, you grew up with it, you were 1 or you were 90, like that's our title, right? Yep. Look at, and I'm not trying to throw shade, but look at Jet fans. They have Super Bowl 3. That's it. That's what they cling to.
Yeah.
That's they won. That's what they've got. So I think there is the appreciation of the championship, and for those players that won it, and those stories that do get handed down, where if you were kind of born into it, the parents or the grandparents telling you that, hey, this is how good Rod Brindamore was, or Glenn Wesley, or Brett Hedican, like those stories are there. But
don't tell me grandparents are telling their grandchildren about Rod Brindamore.
20 years, man. It's a generation.
Don't tell
generation. Just telling you. I remember when I got here, there were guys still calling talk radio going, they talking about that ice? we got a third string tackle we were trying to sign, right? And that was 18 years ago. Sorry, Giglio, that I cut into your recruiting trail back then. But I think to your thing where I say where it's like two different questions, I think there's an appreciation every fan base has for championship teams. Sure. Don't care where it is. I don't think that there is the reverence for what that team did based on its history because of what this team is doing now, which is every year getting into the playoffs and winning a playoff series and getting to conference finals or being one of the top teams in the regular season. I don't think that there is that because there's, as you've mentioned, we're going on an 8-year cut of time, which doesn't feel long, but it is. There are a lot of people who don't remember the 9 seasons of wandering in the darkness of, man, we need to win 12 games in March and hopefully you can get in. So it's two sides of the same coin. While I think that there is the appreciation for that group and what they brought, bringing North Carolina its first major league championship, at the highest level of a sport. I think there's that. But I don't think that there is the same appreciation when you try to flip it to where we are right now of like, oh, you mean this team didn't make the playoffs every year? This team didn't have that. Yeah, I don't think there's that understanding to it.
I don't think there'll ever be a real appreciation because of the newness in the market of what they actually did.
Yeah.
I'm not like denigrating anybody.
No.
What I'm saying is, and I noticed this, and you're our friend, so I'm not sitting here like, oh my God, Mike's such a loser. He wasn't here in 06. I'm saying this like,
well, neither was Adam Gold.
I'm saying this when I could see your face because the TV in front of you in the press box is gigantic.
Yeah.
And you're looking at Tripp talking to Wes, talking to Lobby, talking to the other guys, and you're trying to process, Mike. Okay, like you're looking at your partner and going, I've never seen your face look like this before. You know what I mean? Like you're trying to understand, like there's a magic there, there's an understanding there. And I think most of the people in North Carolina don't get it. Even the player, I think a lot of people on the team actually don't even get it because it is Skip Cunningham. It is Tripp. It was Johnny. It was Chuck.
These are old Whaler guys. All made the move.
You had to understand this was the equivalent of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when we were growing up, going out and winning the Super Bowl. Like, or the Saints going out and winning the Super Bowl. Like, you never would have convinced either one of us in 1985 that the Bucs or the Saints would ever win the Super Bowl. No. You could not go to that Whaler Mania video and explain to somebody within the next 20 years, they're actually going to win the Stanley Cup. Now, it's not going to be in Hartford, but they're going to win the Stanley Cup. So I think it's almost like you had to have been in Hartford to truly appreciate what that was. And I think Jim Rutherford really deserves a lot. And Pete Carmanos, they both deserve a lot of the credit for what had happened after that team moved and how they were put together. And then Peter Laviolette is the one who did push them in 06 past the idea of, hey, let's just get in. Yeah. We'll be the 8th seed, and maybe we'll beat Marty Brodeur because we can beat him stick side or whatever the I can't remember his weak point. But I think it was all this process, and I always say like those 9 years, and they were fucking dog years for you, Mike. But that's not even long enough. No, that's not even your penance. No, like if I'm a Maple Leafs fan, I'm sitting here going, "Oh, really? Oh, 9 years? 9 years? Oh, that's nothing." You've been to the Cup twice, and you won it once. Oh, in this century, like so. I think it's hard to appreciate it, but I think you put it right, Mike. You see this accomplishment, you realize it's once in franchise history, and you realize how special that is. Yep. And I think your face. Go back and watch. I don't know if you go back and watch your own broadcast like I do, but go back and watch, and you'll see your face watching Tripp talk to those guys and the way that Tripp is engaging with those guys and going through the old time machine in their brains together. It's really kind of cool.
No, it's one of those things, and it's not that you're wrong, but for me, it's more of the. I'm going to put it in these terms. Did you ever watch the HBO documentary about the 1980 U.S. Olympic team winning the title?
I cried.
Winning the gold medal. Yeah, I'm going to say the title. But Al Michaels is talking about. He goes, "We had this shot, and it's of a Russian player with his chin on his stick, watching the U.S. celebrate, and he's got this look of like wonder." Of like, wow, that's what it feels like to be so happy to win because they were just kind of expected. I think you're forgetting where I grew up, which is Buffalo, New York.
Well, it was going to say.
Yeah. So there. By the way, there is a tie to that 06 run. Where somebody was at game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals, but I was living in Richmond. I had yet to have my job now, and you can kind of guess where I'm going with that. So for me, I was watching it more with the wonder of you lived through, like Tripp lived through it in those moments. Like they lived through those moments. I don't have, outside of 1996, 97, when I worked for the Sabres coaching staff and we won the Northeast Division and had absolutely no business being better than the Pittsburgh Penguins, except for a guy named Dominic Hasek. And our best player up front, Patty LaFontaine, got knocked out, of being part of like a championship like that, where you walk through it. And when you get back together, it's like you never left. And that was, to me, seeing that in, Peter Laviolette telling the stories of like, if I ever got a coaching job again, I'm going to do it my way. And I'm going to put the team together. I'm going to tear down these walls. There's not going to be, you're the broadcasters, this is the team, we're the coach. We're a team, we're a unit. That's how it works. That to me is where that sense of wonder came in. So I kind of was watching it through those eyes of like, wow, this is what it's like, right? This is, because it can be 20 years, it could be 20 minutes, it could be 200 years. Those guys are all going to come back and have the same feelings for that year. And you brought up something too, not to belabor this, but that 0-2 team that lost to Detroit, they deserve a hell of a lot more credit because what they brought to this area, and I think that Ovies can speak to it really well, which was, this is what hockey and playoff hockey, and that what it takes to win. And just not just, I tell it to everybody, if you knew how hard it is to win a game in the NHL, let alone a series, let alone, a conference, and then the whole thing, it's unreal. But for that group, they were the ones that planted the seeds in Raleigh of, we know you didn't grow up with this, but this is how great it is. And you are right. I go back to, telling some Buccaneers fan in the 70s and the John McKay.
We're going to happen, guys.
Yeah.
You're going to win a title, and it happened. So yeah, there's a lot to it, but no, that what happened on Sunday, and we are on the Hurricanes radio network tonight. See what I did there for you guys. So the celebration will be on, carried. Hopefully the national guys will cover it. But for me to, it's peeling back the curtain. And yeah, I got there. Not that I feel robbed. This isn't about me. There's other guys who will make it about them when, you hadn't played a shift. But for me, it's more of you guys are going to let me stick my head into the dressing room and you're going to bring me back to that moment. And that was what was really cool for me. Seriously, Giglio, to see that and to see Tripp turned into, although he looks the exact same.
Yeah.
But to see like just the sheer joy that these men have to be in the same room with each other, that's the cool thing for me. And that's what winning a championship does. And in that group, I hope as time has marched on, the people of North Carolina appreciate what that Hurricanes team did. I hope they appreciate, especially the 02 team, and then the 09 team that made it to the conference finals. I hope they appreciate that because, you guys know it. And growing up, I knew if the Whale got in, that meant either Buffalo or Quebec was out in the Adams division. So yeah, I could appreciate the struggle for the team that played in the Mall to get there and win the Stanley Cup. So yeah, it's fun.
We'll close on this because you brought up the Buffalo aspect of this in 06. And, we're focused on Edmonton and Game 7 and all that stuff. But the Buffalo Eastern Conference Finals was nasty. That was
yeah. Well, I mean, there was the belief for those two fan bases, whoever won, and this is going to be and not meant to be, because you look back, that Edmonton team had, Dwayne Rollinson was going on a heater. We've seen goalies carry teams to the Cup before, but
yeah, it was classic 8 seed Edmonton Oilers. Like, come on, y'all! Like, this is going to be a walk. And early in that Cup series, it did look like it was going to be a walk.
But the Buffalo and Carolina bases believed that the Stanley Cup final was the Eastern Conference final. Whoever got out of that, when you saw that Edmonton had advanced, all right, start planning the parade route. But that series was such, and you could see it. It was such a war that the Canes, not that they thought it was on easy street, but you're 1 win away, and then you lose games 5 and 6 because Edmonton wasn't going in. Because at some point the hits start to tally up in a playoff series.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was that belief.
So I have a new white whale of old merch. Okay. So like people know this about, I mean, if you listen to the podcast or if you know anything about me, I love old crap. So, like I got my last white whale, the Super Bowl 50 filled, like this is a 10-year-old beer that we're going to drink here soon. But the Buffalo Canes series, there was a night, this is like urban legend stuff now. I vaguely remember it, but there was a night where they gave out pint glasses for the Eastern Conference Finals. I think it was a Blue Cross Blue Shield promotion. You can easily find the Stanley Cup Finals pint
I was going to
glass.
say, I had these up until recently.
You can find the Stanley Cup Final one on eBay, but I'm looking for. Mike disappeared. He's do you have it? Hold on.
Yeah.
Do you really have one?
Yeah.
Next to Eastern Conference Finals?
Yeah.
The Canes one that they gave out?
Yeah.
Okay. You have it. I can't find it. You know why those are hard to find?
Because evidently everybody in Western New York smashed them.
Yes, because everybody decided to get into the you're a redneck. No, you're a redneck because, Buffalo people and Carolina people, it's Spider-Man pointing me when it comes to who's the actual redneck. And again, the urban legend is that people got so drunk in these games and that people were so nasty after the fact that they were smashing pint glasses and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean,
the funny thing is, one or is that the Carolina Hurricanes one?
No, this is from the first game. It was the first game of the Eastern Conference Final.
Okay, so that's the one.
This is the one. I have 2 of them. So it's funny because everybody said all of them were smashed, and I'm like, that's kind of funny. I have 2 of them.
Well, you know what? You happen to be you know what you were? You were the adult. You were the mature one that decided not to smash these things.
But it's funny because I didn't see any of that. I guess it was going on, but I am glad Ovies has correctly pointed it out. Like, I wish that we could let me try to heal the nation here, boys, in this fine podcast. Instead of pointing to our differences.
Yeah.
Ovies, you nailed it because the similarities between fan bases, and in particular at the time, those were. I mean, you couldn't shine a flashlight between them for the differences. Now when you win a title and have some success, it's different. But yeah, the Spider-Man meme, that's an appropriate one back in 06.
All right, I'll tell you what. Here's what we're gonna do. Since you have those pint glasses, I feel like we have to. If we're you being a Notre Dame guy, if we're gonna wake up the echoes here, okay, wake up the echoes of 2006. You got 2 pint glasses. Which bourbon do we want to drink? Do we hit up Wayne for the Pappy? Do we tap in to some Blantons? What do you want to do here?
Well, I think with such a rarity, we have to go with the Pappy, right? Okay. Because it's a Pappy 20, and it's the 20th anniversary. See what I do here, guys? The symmetry. The radio will never leave this blood as long as this heart is pumping. It's there.
Graffiti has a day one.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Mike is very aware.
I'm telling you because I talked to Mike at the press box.
Hang on, this is where the podcast because Giglio's looking at me and I forget he's sitting right across from me.
Yeah, we're in the same room. People are always weirded out by that. Like, no, guys, we're in the same room. The camera setup is so that we can do this for the podcast. All right, so there we go. Deal. We will do that. We will have a 20-year Pappy in the 20-year because I feel like they have not gotten past the Eastern Conference Finals since that.
Yeah, correct. I think I might be down to 1. I think we gave one of our glasses. I got to check with my wife. I think we gave one of our glasses away as a Christmas gift because people were like, "Yeah,
you have one. That's all that matters."
Yeah, we have it. This is the one.
This is like a mythical thing. That pint glass to me is like a mythical thing because the way the story is told, people just smashed them because they were drunk and fighting.
Yeah, that's because this one says 2006 Stanley Cup playoffs, not final, but playoffs. So.
I'm excited.
Glorious.
All this time, Ovies, I've had this.
I didn't know you had it the entire time.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? Start of the play. Well, if the Canes make the playoffs, because if they don't close it out,
then tonight it's Game 7.
Let's bring it all home. Let's bring it all full circle here. All right, man. I'm excited about this. Pappy 20 in a 20-year-old pint glass. Let's go.
Is OG paying for the Pappy 20 at
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Sorry. Paying? Nah, we'll let Wayne talk for 30 minutes and we'll get that Pappy for free.
Okay.
I mean, I do know a guy, so we could probably get it discounted.
There's that.
We'll take the retail rate.
We'll take a retail
The
rate.
wholesale rate.
Okay.
Done.
Gotcha.
Done. All right, boys.
Mike, we'll talk to you later, man.
You got it. Bye-bye.
Big thanks to Happy and Hale. We just took a big old long hockey break with Mike Maniscalco.
Take a break. Let's take a hockey break. Brought to you by Happy and Hale.
You know, December is all about balance. December is a very busy travel hockey slate. So I've been eating a lot of brown food.
Yes.
You know how that catches up to you. It's life's about balance.
I do.
You got to go to
that one. Notre Dame fan pointed out, what does this fat ass know about anything? Exactly.
Dude, Notre Dame fans are no joke.
I don't think it was a real person.
Probably not. There's a lot of bots on Twitter.
You know.
That's the other thing too. You gotta get off Twitter, man. A lot of these blue checks, dude. Nah, man. It's all fake stuff. That's what you won't find at Happy and Hale.
No fake stuff.
No fake stuff. So download the app, use that promo code OG25 to save 25% off your first order. Grab and go about your business. Speaking of business, you might be a small business owner. You might have some legal needs, contracts, making sure everything is on the up and up. Whitaker and Hamer can help you out with that. Attorneys and counselors at law across the state, they can help you out. So hit them up, wh.lawyer. Again, that's wh.lawyer. Also, big thanks to Hometown Realty. You can check them out online at myhtr.com. Maybe you have a stinky hockey bag and there's nowhere to put it in your house. You tell Hometown Realty, hey, looking for a new house and I need like a hockey equipment room. Just like keep it away from the rest of the house so it doesn't infiltrate the rest of the house. I'm like, we got you. Your kid might be nose blind. That doesn't mean you're nose blind. So Hometown Realty can help you out with that. Go to myhtr.com. Again, that's myhtr.com. Maybe you're not looking to move, but you are looking to refresh the house. One easy thing to do is to contact our friends at Bloomin' Blinds. They bring you the After Darks, and they'll bring you brand new shades, blinds. They'll fix them, too. They'll even buy your blinds. So hit them up today at 919-980-9815, or you can check them out online at bloominblinds.com. Again, that's bloominblinds.com. If you're watching on YouTube, you see the background slide. It says positive vibes only. We might have to introduce the positivity rabbit to and this is not something that you can get for the special someone in your life. That's a different kind of rabbit. This is the positivity rabbit that apparently showed up in the Eagles locker room last week, heading into their Monday night game against the Chargers, which was for all the people who are complaining about first round matchups in the college football playoff. I mean, what are we going to get out of Oregon JMU? Well, I mean, it'd be somewhat more entertaining than what we saw last night between the Chargers and the Eagles, right? So here's Saquon Barkley talking about this giant inflatable Easter rabbit that showed up in the locker room.
Bunny outside of your locker. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not into like holidays and like bunnies and Christmas. I do the Christmas stuff. I got kids, but like I'm not really big like joyful holiday person, I guess. So I don't know why. I think that's really the only spot we can put a big bunny. But I was told it's vibe bunny, and the vibes are high. So there we go.
So you didn't sign off on him being in front of your locker?
Definitely didn't sign off on being in front of my locker.
Vibes are immaculate, man. Vibes are immaculate in Philly.
So they lose last night in overtime. They're 8-5 on the season.
Dude, they're so done. They're so done.
They finally wrinkled the tush push, though.
Yeah.
They ran an option to Barkley on it.
Yeah.
Ran for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Been waiting for them to unveil a little bit of a tush push package. But I guess if it's so effective, then why would you run anything else out of it?
So as I'm watching I got back in time to watch the end of the first half and a little bit of the start of the second half on Monday Night Football. And I'm also seeing the news that Phillip Rivers is going to be showing up to Indianapolis today, or has already shown up to Indianapolis. And he's going to took
the covered wagon to get to Indianapolis from down in Alabama.
Jeez. Wasn't he just here?
He was with our guy Don.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was just here. But anyway, so the situation with the Colts, Daniel Jones is done. And Anthony, I don't know what the Anthony Richardson status is. So they're going to kick the tires on Phillip Rivers, who last played for the Colts, in 2020?
Yeah. Which one's going to be starting in the NFL next week? Phillip Rivers or our guy Don? It's a coin toss.
Corporate wants you to spot the difference. They're the same. They're the same. They both look good. So, also shout out to Don for wearing the OG hat on the sideline. I know you gave it to him, but you're a real one for
you're an OG
for being out there on the field with that for the Carolina State game. So, I was like, why would Phillip Rivers, man? It's been a couple of seasons, man. He's 44, and then you watch last night and you go, all right, what harm could be done?
Will he turn the ball over twice on the same play?
Maybe. Can't be worse than that. You also start looking across the league and you're going, ooh, it really is. This is terrible. So I was reading the Washington Post like I typically do, their sports section. And I'm reading Mark Maniscalco, who's a longtime NFL insider reporter for the Washington Post. And he put in like the clearest possible terms where we're at. Oh, I forgot that another Duke legend is on the
Riley
Colts,
Leonard,
but he's got knee issues that have dated back to his time at Duke. Okay, so he's not ready to go. Right?
You mean the 10,000 hits he took last year at Notre Dame weren't great for his?
Not good.
Weird.
So Maskey puts this in such blunt terms that made me go, "Oh damn!" And there's a Panthers hook here. The quarterback options will not be all that attractive. I'm reading directly from the Washington Post. The struggles of Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals have produced growing suspicions that the Cardinals could release or trade the two-time Pro Bowl selection. Maybe the San Francisco 49ers would listen to trade offers for Mac Jones. Okay. And he's played okay. I'll admit that he's played okay in place of Brock Purdy. Quote, the unexciting list of prospective free agents includes Aaron Rodgers if he decides not to retire after the season, Joe Flacco, well, at this point, you might as well kick the tires on Phillip Rivers, Russell Wilson, who's probably going to go to TV, and Tyrod Taylor, another one of those, wait a minute, you're still in the league? ACC legend, by the way. So many ACC legends.
Actual
here.
ACC legend.
No. Russell Wilson, Tyrod Taylor, Aaron Rodgers, all ACC legends. What are you talking about? And then it gets worse because something we've talked about in relation to Bryce Young. What's this quarterback class going to look like? We're dealing with the idea of Fernando Mendoza. Great interview. Is that an NFL starting quarterback? I don't know. Lenore Sellers, if he decides to give up his eligibility? I don't know. Arch Manning is Arch Manning, like last I checked, Arch Manning might be another season at Texas, right? Although given what you have in terms of quarterback prospects, why wouldn't you go now and be the top quarterback pick in the draft?
Couldn't
right?
flag it. Yeah.
That's what I would do. But hey, man, Arch Manning's going to do what Arch Manning's going to do. So I bring all this up to illustrate the point of when you really think about it, you go, what are the Colts supposed to do at this point? The quarterbacking is so bad in the NFL that an actual real-life playoff contending Colts team would bring Phillip Rivers back into the fold to see if they can get a couple of games out of him into the postseason. That's how bad the quarterback situation is right now in the NFL. Which leads us to the Carolina Panthers. And last week, going into the open week, there was a lot of discussion about the fifth-year option and whether or not Bryce is the guy, is not the guy, yada, 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 yada. And I was kind of like, well, why are we talking about this so early? They got time to figure this out. I mean, they can do this in May. I believe that's when they can do it. And reading that story today and just having it in plain terms of what's available to you in the quarterback room, you might as well just extend Bryce Young now. Regardless of what you think about Bryce Young, is he the guy? Is he not the guy? Well, what are your options at this point? So just pick up the option now. Just like, hey, Bryce, we ain't fooling around, man. just so you know, what else are we going to do? Right? What else are we going to do?
Limited.
Very, very limited options. Very limited options. We had somebody text us a Colts Phillip Rivers jersey. That is, without a doubt, some sicko behavior. And this is from a 336. And it says, my hopes are up. My jersey is ready. Let's see some elder abuse.
My wife has a Phillip Rivers Colts jersey.
Why?
She's always liked the Phillip.
When I was at the State Carolina game with my dad there in section 120, there were a couple of dudes wearing the red Chargers Phillip Rivers jerseys, like the combination of the two.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that's old school.
Yeah, no, I remember going to it was a Panthers Chargers game. Shit, I forgot what year it was. But this is like classic. The Panthers aren't that good. So you're really there to see what team the visiting team. And it was Phillip. So it was nothing but State fans. Nothing but State fans that showed up to that game. I saw a lot of NC State Phillip Rivers jerseys. I saw a lot of Rivers Chargers jerseys in the powder blue, which is always a slick look, right? It's a great jersey.
Ain't for soft people.
Are you surprised that Phillip Rivers still has a hold on State fans the way that he does?
No.
It's been 20 years.
No. No,
it's been 20 plus years.
That's your nostalgia hit, especially if you're in your 30s. You grew up, and that was the guy who introduced you to NC State football. And
Phillip Rivers is so entrenched.
The reckoning with a W.
Phillip Rivers is so entrenched with NC State fans that if the Doran thing plays out, you know who they want, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's... Yeah.
We've moved on from the time in which Bill Cowher was always attached to the NC State job. And I know you've told the story that there was a moment in time where that might have happened.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And again, this is not about Dave's future. Like as I've said, one thing that I'm going to try to be better about in 2026 is how do we frame conversations around Dave?
Mm-hmm.
All right. But there is a contingent out there that would absolutely love to see Phillip Rivers coach at NC State, with really no experience whatsoever outside of high school.
I mean, he's played a long time. His dad was a coach.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get it.
Shit, Jeff Saturday got credentials in the NFL for less.
Well, I get this is true. I guess what this has come down to is, kind of piggybacking off of yesterday, we've got your outright ACC champion, your outright Big Ten champ are Chuck Amato disciples, and Kurt Signetti and Manny Diaz, who are both on staff. Which year was that?
Oh, early.
It was early. It was like 01.
Yeah. Well, Signetti was there his first for all of Chuck.
Yeah. When were Manny?
Maybe missed one. Manny wasn't. Manny was. I mean, without looking it up, Manny was.
I know they overlapped. I just couldn't remember when.
Yeah, because remember he was with ESPN. He had his internship with Ryan McGee.
Yeah.
But yeah, Manny's dad was the mayor of Miami, and so
I'm very familiar with that.
Yeah, he was with Chuck at Florida State. He was like a strength and conditioning assistant.
Yeah,
with when Chuck was the DC at Florida State, and then when Chuck got the job, he made him a defensive assistant.
Like I said, I see the vision here. I see the vision.
That's a Chuck Amato kind of week.
It is kind of a Chuck Amato week. So you get Manny, you got Kurt. Well, why not just go to the quarterback of that run?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
See if a little Chuck Amato happy dust ends up. You people dust. Thanksgiving dust.
Wait a second.
Sprinkle it back on NC State. See if he can take you.
You Google Manny Diaz and it says politician. I'm like, I don't want his dad.
No, not his dad.
He was a GA at State 0001, linebackers 0203. So he was at State until 05.
Okay.
And Signetti was there those first
couple
years.
Well. Yeah. Okay. I was just trying to remember when they overlapped in that situation.
Yeah, they were there together a long time.
So I see it. I see where NC State fans are coming from on this one.
Yeah. That's right, because Kurt was the one who Kurt was there up until 06. He's the one who handed off Phillip to the next group. I mean, not Phillip, Russ. Because he was part of that recruitment and the camp. He ran the camp and everything else.
I am 2 years older than Phillip Rivers.
Okay. You have 10 less kids.
Well, remember,
10 fewer.
Remember, I retired.
Yes. Yes.
We were talking about max protection earlier.
Yeah.
I got max protection.
Yeah.
I singed those bad boys. Okay.
Yep.
I am at 46. I was sore after putting lights on the house, Joe. Okay.
I believe it.
I had to contort myself into the crawl space. I had to put myself in weird positions to hang lights on the edge of the house, of the roof. And I was sore the next day. Phillip Rivers is 2 years younger than me. He's 44. And some people are just built different, man. Hanging up lights ain't for soft people, apparently.
I guess my question is, if you're going to go get somebody old, why wouldn't you call Tom Brady?
He has no interest in coming back. Although,
Are you sure?
did you? Well, you know what? You make a really good point because you see, Tom Brady went viral this week, or like in the last 24 hours, because he's gone into like big divorce dad energy. Like he's posting stuff. Like he is posting in a way divorced guy energy would post. Like he's in his grind set. You know, like it's that kind of thing. Do you know some guys who have gone through a divorce recently?
Mm-mm.
Okay. There's an Onion headline that encapsulated it perfectly, in that recently divorced dad is burning through hobbies at an alarming rate. And the picture was him on a bike. Like he took up mountain biking, right? And that was the headline. Divorced dad burning through hobbies at an alarming rate.
That's really good.
That's really good. Okay. That's Tom Brady right now. Let's see what I'm getting at. He's like posting things that big time divorced dad energy would be doing right now. Okay. I mean, he is 1 week away from tapping into Steely Dan. Okay. He is about to just go, you know, I think Asia's, I get that it's considered their best. But honestly, Katie Lyde would be my personal favorite. Like, that's where Tom Brady's this close to doing that sort of thing. Anyway, best of luck to Phillip Rivers. We'll see how it plays out. He might be, by the time you hear this podcast, he might be a member of the Indianapolis Colts. Big thanks to Matt Davis over at State Farm. Check him out online at insuregarner.com or call him directly at 919-779-8277. We talk about home and auto all the time, and it can save you money on home and auto real easy. But as 2025 comes to a close and you're looking ahead for 2026, maybe you're like Phillip Rivers and you have 18 kids and you have to financially plan for all 18 kids, and you didn't have an NFL Hall of Fame career. You got to plan for these things. Well, Matt can help. So check them out online at insuregarner.com. How do you feed 18 kids? Butcher's Market. You walk up and say, hey, I'm going to need 5 of those. I'm going to need 5 of that chicken marsala ready to go. Cool. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I need 25 pounds of this chicken. 25 pounds? Sorry. What? Hey, man, I got 18 kids to feed.
And they are getting into frozen foods and frozen meats in 2026. That is one of their initiatives. So,
all right. So,
hey, I know we're all thinking of better ways to save money. Well, you go, you get your frozen stuff, you defrost it when you need it.
That sounds easy to me. So check them out, thebutchersmarkets.com. Again, that's thebutchersmarkets.com. And I talk about the grab and go. I'm dead serious about this. When you get invited to a holiday potluck, you get invited to a holiday gathering, and it's like, hey, bring whatever you want. Just bring the ham biscuits and win the party every single time. Big thanks to Mosquito Authority and Pest Authority. Your 18 kids are out there playing. You don't want them bitten up by mosquitoes.
No, you can't have that's malaria running through.
No. You do not want that. You don't want 18 kids going, oh, I'm all itchy all the time. You don't want that. So contact bugsbite.com, Mosquito Authority and Pest Authority. And of course, if you got 18 kids, 18. And you are like, I think he's got 10.
He's got 12.
What's the difference at that point? 12, 18?
You're like Bill Belichick with your Super Bowl ring right now.
Immaterial. There's no difference between 12 and 18.
I love how I typed in how many children, ... and Google automatically put, does Phillip Rivers have? 10.
He's got 10. All right, so you got 10
But he's
kids.
also, they are grandparents.
That's unreal.
Yeah.
So you like these kids, I got to get them out of the house. Got to shut them up. Ice cream.
I mean, Phillip's not even the one on that Chargers team who had the most kids. Antonio Cromartie had more kids than him.
That's a fair point. He takes care of his kids, regardless. Take all.
What do you want, a cookie?
Take all of your family. Take all of your family to Two Roosters. Take care of the 10 kids. Get them all ice cream. It's all good stuff. That'll shut them up.
This Google is leaking.
What?
People also ask, what NFL quarterback has the most children? What NFL player has 13 children? Which rapper has 15 kids?
Oh, wow.
How does Tyreek Hill have so many kids? How many baby mamas does Tariq have?
Wow. How does Jared keep coming up with all these flavors? Is that part of that? No, maybe not. Regardless, go to Two Roosters, get your holiday favorites right now. And of course, you're running out of time to sign up for the 12 days of Christmas. 12 exclusive flavors that lines up right to Christmas Eve. So check it out, tworoosters.com. Again, that's tworoosters.com. All right, let's get out of here with some Hey Joe. Let's go to the OG sports phone, shall we?
919-444-2211. Call the OG sports phone and curse or don't.
Okay, let's go to a 704.
Hey guys, it's Paul. Hey, hats off to Duke, man. Way to unlock a whole new tier of triangle good. You were mid throughout the entire year. You lost a lot of winnable games to opponents you shouldn't have lost to. You swept your rivals. You got to the ACC title game on a technicality, and you actually won. But of course, you still finished the season with 8 wins. A whole new level of triangle good achieved by Duke. Way to go, Manny Diaz. And hats off to Manny Diaz for also doing a wonderful Duke basketball tribute for the last decade. The last decade of Duke basketball, that is, for winning the ACC title but never playing in the national championship game. So, good work, Duke. Good work. Also, a little clarification. Giglio, you ascribed to me credit for a call in on the mailbag about the Red Reckoning and how funny how it has not started. That was not me, but I appreciate the caller's points. I think there are salient points, and I also just want to throw in a fun fact that every time that Ben Allen Lubin plays 28 minutes, State loses. So I don't think that's a coincidence. All right, see you guys later.
So
that wasn't Paul. It sounded just like him.
I just let her. Because at first, like, that's not Paul, but I wasn't gonna.
Well, you're the one who sees the numbers. I'm not.
Oh, I understand, but we get a lot of calls from a 704. Like, I don't know y'all's numbers. Like, even my brother will text the sports phone. He's like, "Do you not see my text?" I'm like, "Dude, I just see a 919. I don't ascribe like, oh, I know that's a 919-601. No, I don't know that. I don't even know my brother's number off the top of my head because it's 2020. It's almost 2026, and who remembers phone numbers? I know
my home number.
I still think I remember your cell phone number because I had to call it enough times back in the day when you had to commit these things to memory. When I needed,
we were all the same too. Me, Luke, Tudor,
like 274s, right?
No, 812.
Well, that's what it was. That's what it was. Oh no, Gold was like a 274. Anyway, like I used to know that number because back when I did radio and I needed to we're doing 4 hours of radio. We got to kill a segment. Who do we call? Joe Giglio. You need somebody to kill an hour of radio for you?
I got you.
Joe's got you.
An hour. I can't do much more.
Yeah, after that,
that's all I got.
Anyway, what I love about
my juices do not flow all the time.
What I love about that call. I'm not saying Duke winning the ACC championship in football is on the level of the 2022 Final Four. But I can tell that it bothers some Carolina fans that for all the attempts of trying to make football a thing, right down to the Bill Belichick thing, Duke ends up doing this. So deep down, there is part of you that is truly bothered by the fact that Duke did this.
Duke won the race.
And you can say, but you didn't make the cut. Right. Just like Carolina fans were like, yeah, so we blew it against Kansas. Not the point. We beat you.
Yeah.
Well, now Duke fans be like, hey, remember that time we didn't make the college football playoff, but we still won the ACC championship that year? We still beat you. So again,
champs, ACC champs.
Don't misunderstand me. I am not saying it's on the level of 2022. I'm simply saying that I could tell there's a little part of you that's truly bothered by it. Truly bothered by it. All right, one more.
Hey, OG, NC State moderator here. Quick question. What do you think is a worse start for Will Wade in the Reckoning campaign? The losses that State has had and how the team has looked against better teams, or the fact that the new 50 Cent Diddy documentary is called The Reckoning. Let me know your thoughts, boys.
Do you have Netflix?
Yes, I do.
Have you watched the Reckoning, the actual Reckoning for Diddy?
No, not
Documentary?
yet. My curiosity is piqued, of course.
I started watching it.
Okay.
I heard too much about it. I couldn't help myself. So I started watching it. And it's interesting on a couple of levels. I'll keep this quick. You know me. I'm fascinated by the music business. And this is yet another look at how shady and screwed up the music business is, just on a surface level. I mean, not to give too much away, and I thought I knew a lot about that era of music.
Yeah.
I did not realize that when Diddy was all up in the music videos, dancing, right? Like Suge Knight famously said at the Source Awards, come to death row. I did not realize that Diddy, Puff Daddy, was charging his artists for the appearance. It wasn't just, hey man, I'm the producer, I make it hot, I show up in the videos. That's part of the deal. No. He was taking a cut from the artist to appear in the videos, whether they liked it or not. That is shady. But that's, as Tribe Called Quest told you, industry rule 4,000 and whatever.
I think it's 3,080.
The record company or the record business is shady.
Record company people are shady.
Thank you. See, I'm butchering even the lines here. So I found that kind of interesting. And I finally got to the second episode. And again, not to give too much away if you haven't watched it yet. But if you grew up of a certain time and you were invested in the Tupac Biggie thing and you had your opinions about what happened in those fateful days, come to find out there was one person and one person only who's responsible. And it's not who you think. It's him. It's wild. Absolutely wild. And all of this, for a guy who, at least on track, was not very talented. He couldn't rap. He was terrible. And yet he knew how to make it hot. And that was his superpower. He knew how to make it hot. But behind the scenes, man, some wild stuff. So I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. I'm only 2 episodes in, and I think out of 4. And I'm like riveted by just the
pettiness.
He's a terrible person. He's
50 Cent is off the charts.
Look, I respect the pettiness level from 50 Cent.
Right down to going on to some interview that he knew was only going to be shown in the prison where Diddy is. And it was like,
respect to him, man. And you know what? It's deserved, because as you come to find out, I mean, we already kind of knew this, but it really brings it home. Diddy is an awful human being, man. Awful. But I'm fascinated by it. Anyway, let's go wrap it up for today's show. On that note, how do we get out of this dead dog?
Diddy, Notre Dame.
They're all over the place today. 18 kids.
Catholic Church.
Notre Dame expecting miracles. Hey, look, guys. Look, Jesus turned water into wine. All right. He fed a crowd of people out of some couple of fish and some loaves of bread. All right. But there's only so much Jesus can do.
Can't make Syracuse a real football team.
We'll see you tomorrow.